Vitek here from Wani. With us today, we have the amazing, eternal Floor Jansen. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Hi.
You have the next chapter of NIGHTWISH career about to start with the brand new DVD, Vehicle of Spirit. Now, another milestone in the career of NIGHTWISH in terms of how you like to present yourselves on stage to your fans who probably haven't got a chance to see you live.
Yeah, for sure. And we really wanted to document the entire world tour. So we have two full-length shows and a lot of material from other places all over the world where, to give you a total impression of what it's like in different places.
Indeed, and the location, the venues that have been selected are very special for the band. One obviously being home, you're close to your long fans who've been with you for decades, and then you have a legendary venue like Wembley, which is one of the biggest. So having these two locations with the set of songs you have selected, was it sort of an obvious choice to go for something like Wembley, instead of having something like in Italy or somewhere in Sydney with Opera House?
Well, we didn't play the Sydney Opera House, but Wembley Stadium Wembley Arena is a very special venue. So when the special place presents itself, then that helped us decide this would be a perfect place for a second documentation, because we already had Tampere. Not knowing yet we would sell it out, not knowing yet that Richard Dawkins would say, sure, I'll come and talk during your live show. So all those things made it extra special.
Awesome, good to hear. And the way it's been shot is really amazing. The way the multiple camera angles covered the essence of the NIGHTWISH sound, and be it the performance of the band or you guys interacting with the audience, or even the interplay between Thomas and Kai, completely made me feel as if I was present at Wembley or even at Athena. So
great.
The way it's been shot, I mean, when you had a look at the final edition of the DVD, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, I didn't see just the final edition of the DVD. So I've been part of, as anybody in NIGHTWISH, part of the realization of the cuts and the. But of course, it's Ville Lippiainen and the man who's been making this, directing this DVD again, as our previous works, Showtime, Storytime. So we really went together through all those angles. So it was his idea to have a setup like this, which indeed gives you the feeling that you are there and you get to see the whole spectacle through different eyes from different angles. So it was a lot of choosing to do where are we going to stay focused on and what are we going to show, because there's so much happening the whole time, and I'm very, very thrilled with the outcome. I think it really takes you with us into the show, whether you were standing in the audience or on stage. It gives a very total impression.
Absolutely right. And also the kind of response you guys got with the Endless Forms has been very receptive, and obviously the importance where the fans have given to the concept, the theme that has sort of connected them on a more of a spiritual side. And I'm sure that gives a sort of a sense of achievement that band has been able to connect people not just with the music, but also from the conceptual side.
Yeah, absolutely. The visual aspects of our show are very important, but not the most important thing. We can still tell our story without all the show elements. But if you happen to play a stadium or an arena, then it's really, really cool to have him.
Indeed. And the kind of setup you've taken on this tour, I mean, was phenomenal. I think that's the pinnacle of what NIGHTWISH has taken on road till date, isn't it?
Thank you. Well, yeah, it hasn't been bigger than this, absolutely.
It must have been sort of very challenging, because you got so many projectors out there that kind of makes you immerse into this experience. And the way even the home show at Athena has been shot is really great to see how on a grand scale you guys have picked up in terms of the live essence. And for you in general, when you're right there on stage, how important are the visuals for a band like Nightwish live?
It's great to have all those show elements when you, like I said, when you are on a big stage. When we play a smaller stage and we have a backdrop and just regular lights, still done really good, but no pyros or anything. We can still transmit the story. I think that is the most important thing that Nightwish can bring. We don't need pyros, and we don't need screens and fancy stages to convince. But it makes it absolutely more spectacular and grander when you do. And when you play a stadium, it's a little bit bigger than a venue. So then it's super cool to have these elements, and that is the finishing touch to what we can bring.
Indeed, and obviously when you're in front of the mic, your vocals have on both these shows are bang on, and it's more than you, it's the crowd, how it's interacting with you by singing along, be it the classic songs or even the songs from Endless. You left your own signature stamp on stage, which obviously, Floor Jansen fans do love. For you in general, when you went on stage and at Wembley, was it sort of a nervous before you were preparing to go and, unleash hell on stage?
Yeah, no, I mean, nervous in a sense that you get more pepped up for because this is going to be a special show. Even though Wembley came at the end of a 5-week European show tour, so we just been out for 5 weeks playing arenas. So in that sense, that's a perfect preparation for a special arena show and the DVD recording. We didn't have that kind of preparation for for Tampere, so that was absolutely more exciting in that sense that now we have this extra big stage, we have this ramp that goes into the audience. How are we going to use it? When are we going to use it? You don't want to think too much because you want to go into your routine in the positive sense of the word. But in Tampere, it was a little bit more thinking in that sense. So that you're gonna really have to, that up front. So that changes your perception of the show a bit up front. Like, ooh, this is definitely extra exciting. And just the fact that that it's going to be recorded is extra exciting. Something you immediately somehow need to forget if you can, because you don't want to be distracted by it.
Absolutely. Even the song like The Greatest Show on Earth, the finest moment of the band till date, there you are on stage, the 23-minute long epic, and then you have, Richard Dawkins, expressing those really good lines for there's a lot of emotion on stage. And I'm sure that must have been a moment of epic for you as a singer, to be part of this experience. And I'm sure you haven't done stuff like this before in your career.
No, absolutely. No, none of us. It's who can say that you have such a famous scientist on your stage reciting these famous words? It's a unique thing that we were all. Yeah, there was a lot of emotion, and it was great to see on the DVD that the emotion was definitely not just on stage. Right. The reaction of the audience was clearly that they got the message. They were touched by him. He was received so positively. It was really, really a beautiful moment.
And Richard has done this. He's done it a lot. May not be in front of 12,000 odd crazy fans out there, but obviously,
exactly.
And when this was planned, and I'm sure there must have been some sort of rehearsals done before, so that when you guys go on Wembley and Richard is coming out and doing it. So how was that sort of experience to kind of do some sort of a homework backstage before going live?
Well, we didn't do it backstage because that would just make no sense. He could read those words anywhere. The trick is to do it on stage. So we did during the sound check. Then of course the venue's empty. But for him to be on a stage like this, haven't had the experience of being on a stage, but not like this. Speaking for many people, but not that many live. I mean, when he's on TV or radio, of course there are even way more people listening to his voice, but this was a unique situation, so it was good for all of us to have that moment on stage together without having the audience there yet, to let the true magic be there when the audience was there.
Absolutely. It took me exactly 13 years to see Nightwish live. I traveled all the way. I'm right now in India, and I've traveled all the way from here to Leipzig in Germany to see you on December 13th last year.
Wow,
So,
fantastic.
so that was my first Nightwish experience, and I was absolutely mesmerized. Seeing this DVD kind of took me back, to be honest with that, cold
Great.
evening to kind of remind me, kind of, the goosebumps I got seeing, like, man, I mean, I got to see you guys live again. I don't know whether you guys will ever come to India, because even though you got fans, but I don't know, to be honest.
Well, it has been in the talking for many years. That much I know. Um, Unfortunately, the world's such a big place, so planning wise, it needs to fit, and the offer needs to simply be possible for us to do it.
Right.
And but yeah, unfortunately, not with this Endless Worm's Most Beautiful tour. But
Tour.
I would be totally excited to come.
That would be great. And you've been also you'll be part of AYREON's new concept album as the biologist. And
Yeah.
I was preparing for the interview. I was just having a chat with Aryan. He just asked me to give you a warm hug on his behalf.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thank you.
So how happy are you with the performance as the biologist? Because he's crazy. He's one of my favorite progressive musicians. I'm sure for you to be part of his album again would have been a treat.
Yeah, it is. It's I when Aryan he sent me an email, hey, new album coming. Would you be interested again? And I was like, yeah, of course. I don't need to listen to the music beforehand, which I always do,
Right.
because you just know with him it's gonna be well. Funny to tell you, however, I didn't know I was going to be the biologist.
Okay.
So I have my lyrics and the parts of the songs, which are basically snippets. And prepared myself with that. I went to the recording in his studio. Had a great time as always, and yeah. Then we talked about when and how announcing and everything, because he has this game where people can guess
Right.
which singer it is. So after I was guessed, they put the word out, and then I saw, hey, I'm the biologist. But I honestly think that none of the singers know
No. Right.
the total picture of the story. So slowly but certainly, more pieces of the puzzle are being revealed to both the world as the artist on it, and it's super exciting to see what it is. But it's funny that it fits so well to the concept I just came out of, basically. And I don't know if you read about that, but I, as a child, wanted to become a biologist.
Awesome.
Yeah, very coincidental. I didn't really know what it meant. I just loved nature and cared for the planet, and felt this childlike desire to help and to be part of that. And I learned that biologists do that, so that's why I wanted to become a biologist.
You still became on his album. Here you go. Right.
Exactly. Now the world's melted into one perfectly. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you also did the guest appearance on Evergrey's new album. It's a very personal record, and I love every bit of it. It was good to see you, in that music video with, the guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cool. You saw it. Yeah, thank you.
And at this point of time in your career, I mean, you're living a dream. You're loving the Nightwish vibe, which is really amazing. You're expecting the first child, so congratulations for that.
Thank
And
you.
is there anything on your wish list that is yet to be achieved?
Not really, no. It's like you said, there are many things happening already at the moment. Evergrey, in this case, is funny you mentioned it right before saying this, because I've been listening to Evergrey since I was a teen. And it's great that worlds come together. Not really because I'm a Nightwish, but because my husband played in Evergrey. So we became friends. We live in the same area, basically, here in Sweden, and yeah, the question came up more over a glass of wine than out of real professional reasons.
Right.
Of course, it's still a professional decision to do it or not, but making music with friends, regardless of the level that you're in, is the best and biggest luxury in the world. And I am doing that, and I'm doing that in Nightwish as well. And if there's any ambition unfulfilled, and that's it could never be, because it's a future thing. It would be to make music with friends in a happy and healthy way until I'm too old to do it, and that's my future dream.
Awesome. That's really good to hear, Floor. So if you had to sum up the vehicle of spirit in a sentence, what would you say?
It's Nightwish taking you on a worldwide trip.
There you go. Thanks a lot, Floor. Always a great time having a chat with you. The good luck with the release. Obviously, it's going to hit the charts everywhere. You're taking a year off, to focus on your life, and then you would be back in action in 2018, I believe, with the new Nightwish record, right?
Well, we'll be back in 2018. We haven't said anything about a record or what we're going to do. We have been keeping it a secret on purpose because it's something special, something that I really think the Nightwish fans will really like. And but indeed, for now, we're taking a break from the whole thing, not because it wasn't good, but maybe because it was good. It's good to reflect on life and take a step back and sit and relax and do something else, and we'll be back with a vengeance in 2018.
Good to hear that, Floor. You have a wonderful evening ahead and take care of yourself.
Thank you, you too, and thanks for this lovely interview. Take care. Bye!